Hey guys, what's going on? Sorry that I haven't posted in a little while. I was on holiday and I just didn't produce any content. I did have a couple of videos due to go out, but frankly I didn't think they were good enough, so I decided not to post instead. I don't want to just post stuff to this channel that is crap. I'd rather, post stuff that I genuinely enjoy, and what I always enjoy is looking at new characters. Now, look, this video is quite long. I'm going to go into detail onto Soren. I'm going to use him in a variety of modes. I would really recommend that you watch it to get a good grasp on what Soren's capable of and maybe some of his potential strengths and weaknesses. At the end, I give you my full kind of like genuine, honest rundown. But for those of you that might not want to get that far, here is my very, very quick TLDR. Not worth it. I spent 180 rate up invite letters, 20k diamonds. I basically pitied on every single pull. I got him to Supreme Plus, and he is frankly garbage. Really, really bad. He dies too quickly. Soren has got a really, really interesting kit that can be really good, potentially great in PvP, especially because there's lots of terrain often in PvP. And like in traditional arena where we don't have magic charms or seasonal skills, there was some limited success that I've kind of found with him, and there's maybe some comps that we need to explore there that could use him well. But the genuine truth of the matter is, in PvE, in Supreme Arena, and in Dream Realm, he's just not good enough. He dies too quickly. Even with his self-preservation mechanisms, which is part of his skill set, he frankly just gets blown up, and just he never gets to cast his ultimate because he's a melee character that takes the damage. And even when linked to Thorin to try and buy some time, he doesn't generate energy quickly enough. The big fix that Soren needs is to generate energy more quickly. If he was a little bit like Alsa, who could get to his ultimate more quickly, he'd be super useful, but he can't. His ultimate casting is incredibly slow. And that's his main drawback. If he was able to cast his ultimate, he'd buy time for himself and the entire team. He'd be much more useful. But frankly, he never really gets the opportunity to do that. So my honest opinion here is don't bother. He's not worth it. He's not good enough. I've got him to Supreme Plus, and I am probably never going to use him unless they buff him or change him in some way, shape, or form. There may be some comps, and I'll hold my hands up here. I've only done an hour or so of testing. There may be some comps where he's viable. But frankly, I don't think that he's going to outshine the current existing meta comps, and it's not worth you trying to sort of rack your brains to pull for him. He's just, frankly, in his current state, just not good enough. But look, I'm going to go into detail. You're going to go through me watching me pull him. Timestamps in the description below. If you want to skip the skill breakdown and me just getting really angry over hitting a pity pull on every single one of my rate up invite letters, then you can do by the timestamps. But yeah, enjoy, guys. Feel free to look at this full review of Soren. Got him to Supreme Plus, and frankly, he's kind of crap. Soren is the new A-tier rate-up banner hero. A lot of people have been a bit underwhelmed that we have an A-tier rate-up banner hero, and they've kind of said, oh, why have we got a rate-up banner for an A-tier? But let me remind you that Odie is one of the best heroes in the game, and he's A-tier. Marily, still excellent in the Dream Realm. Corin, still an incredible pickup as well. So there is definitely use cases for A-tier heroes. And like Damien and Arden, both A-tier heroes that are used frequently at the very high level. So A-tier heroes can be really good. It's about whether we think Soren is good, though. Now, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through Soren's skills. We're going to talk about where he could be useful. And I'm not sure I want to do this because I'm not entirely sure how good Soren is. I'm going to try and get Soren to at least Mythic Plus, okay? So I'm going to try and get Soren to at least Mythic Plus, and we're going to try and use him in some battle scenarios to see how he performs. That is my plan. Right, let's talk about Soren's ultimate first. Soren selects a tile and rushes there to swing his weapon. Worth noting, this is a global skill. Very good on a manual cast scenario. He deals 250% damage plus increased skill power, which I think is unlocked via magic charms. I can't quite remember where this skill power thing comes from, but I think it's from magic charms. Damage to adjacent enemies and knocking them back one tile. If targets collide with allies, enemies, terrain, or battlefield borders, they take 400% attack damage and are stunned for 2.5 seconds. This skill prioritizes targeting the tile that will cause the most damage to enemies when cast automatically. Will cause the most enemies to collide when cast automatically. So basically, if you have it on auto cast, it will jump to the tile that's going to essentially knock people into the walls as quickly as possible. And it goes up in terms of Soren deals damage and stuns another enemy for 2.5 seconds if the target is knocked back by this skill collides with them. So basically, it deals extra damage to the target that also gets hit as well. Pretty good skill. Very good in areas where there are going to be lots of walls, so I can see Soren being pretty good in a PvP scenario. I also think there's some interesting PvE comps that we could try with Soren. Repel Sweep. Soren swings his weapon to deal 180% damage to an enemy in melee range, knocking them back 1 tile. If the target collides with allies and like the same thing, they take extra damage and they are stunned for 1.5 seconds. Soren repositions himself to ensure maximum collisions between targets when casting this skill, and he can extend the stun duration up to 2 seconds. Soren reduces the damage taken from a single attack that exceeds 10% of his max HP by 70%, so basically a massive decrease, resetting the cooldown of Repel Sweep, which is this one here. The effect can be triggered once every 7 seconds, but this can also be decreased by the skill power gains. This is what I think where Soren could potentially get really good. If you get enough skill power to reduce the seconds on this, you could potentially get it low enough where he's able to basically deflect damage every like 4 seconds or so. Sorry, my allergies are all over the place today, guys. Hero Focus is a haste increase. It's pretty common. Dusk Rejuvenation, so this is his Mythic Plus ability. Or I think it is. Yes. Yeah. So it's this is a Mythic possibility. Soren gains 60 haste and recovers 4% of max HP and 40 energy per second for 12 seconds when his HP ratio is below 60%. This can only be triggered once per battle. At level 5, this removes all active crowd control effects, and it can be triggered repeatedly with a cooldown of 25 seconds. Frankly, the levels at 10 and 15 are not that important. It is really just a level 5 X weapon that's going to be very important here. I think, though, getting 80 haste is also quite nice. So this is maybe a level 8 or a level 10 X weapon. I'm going to go back and look at him, sorry. And then, obviously, the Enhanced Force increases the knockback distance of Repel Sweep to 2 tiles when deflecting swing is triggered, dealing extra damage equal to the 50% of the block damage. Really good. Great thing to have at Supreme Plus. And then Battle Rush, this is his seasonal skill. Every time he casts his ultimate, his haste increases. So he ramps up in terms of haste, which is obviously very strong, and I think it's very similar to Alsa. I think that might be the same as Alsa's ability, actually. So on paper, a lot of crowd control. Crowd control is really good. The main thing that we need to be sort of looking at is kind of just his straight-up stats, because there's nothing inherently tanky about him. So, you know, he is a warrior, so we're going to be comparing him to things like Brutus rather than things like Thorin, and he's not like a dedicated tank, but I'm still interested in seeing how he could potentially work out in some comps. So, at the risk of making myself very sad, we are just going to go ahead and start. Do you wish to? I've got to replace another one. Okay, so probably back to Viperium. Apparently, I can get my Nero to Supreme Plus now. Didn't even know that. Maybe I'll do that after this. Right, so let's go. Let's see where we end up. I wish you could just turn off animations straight away. Right, so we got that. I got a lot of Omni Icons there. That's really nice, actually. Another Leica. Right. Oh, I got a pity. There we go. Skip. All right. If I just get pity all the way, I'm going to be really sad. It's looking like I'm going to get a lot of pity here, guys, and I feel like I'm going to struggle. Yes, I want to skip all animations. Right. Satrana, thank you very much. Okay, there's the Soren. That was a pity. Okay, let's figure out. Did I just get I got another one. So that one wasn't a pity. That's pretty good. I have used half of my invite letters though. Let's quickly. I just need to quickly ascend this guy. So he is actually now able to go to Supreme Plus. So I actually have a Supreme Plus Nero now, which is actually really good. I haven't invested into his X weapon yet, but you know, I can actually enhance Muriel to Mythic Plus. I have a Mythic Plus Muriel now. That's actually kind of crazy. Okay. And then obviously we have Soren. Right. Do that. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're now at Legendary. Need to go to Legendary Plus. We need a couple more pulls. I don't really like buying these things, whereas I've got so many of these offers that I just ignore. That's, yeah, I mean, it's a lot for just 8 copies of that, but you do get some extra invite letters and Omni Acons, so it's not too bad, but I'm not going to buy it because it's like 50 quid, which is just insane. Let's go. Okay. Omni Acons are always useful. I've got, I actually want way more Parissa. I haven't pulled enough Parissa. Leica, again. I'm not getting very lucky here, guys. I never get particularly lucky. Okay, I've got 40. Okay. Am I actually going to straight up... Not... There's another Parissa, which is quite nice. Oh, really? Am I actually going to strike out in terms of... I've used 160 invite letters on this guy. There's another Soren. All right, let's just see how far we are away now, because I need to see how many pulls I actually need to get Soren to a good level. I used an unbelievable amount of invite letters there. Okay. Legendary plus. Mythic. I need a few more at least at this point, don't I? 12 to get to Mythic plus. I need quite a few more to max this guy out. I have become extremely unlucky. Okay. Come on, guys. I can't just get pity on every single one. I'm going to get pity again. I'm just burnt 12k diamonds. Right, at least I'm getting some other relatively useful... Okay, I'm going to have a look. I can't even ascend him just yet. I think I need 2 more pulls. I've used 150 invite letters for this, just so you know. I'm going to regret this so much. Come on, I can't just keep getting pity. I can't just keep getting pity. I'm getting pity. I've basically got pity practically for every single one. I've got almost no diamonds left now as well. My poor diamonds that I've been saving up. Right, well, at least we have him to Mythic Plus, I guess. I can get him to Supreme. Okay. At least I've got an unbelievable amount of Omni Acorns to get him to Supreme. How far am I away from Supreme Plus? I'd basically need another 2 pulls to get into Supreme Plus. The Enhanced Force is quite nice, but I've got him at least at Mythic Plus. This is the unluckiest I've ever got on a rate up pull. I have just used 20k diamonds that I've been saving for ages. Used all of my rate up invite letters as well. Do you know what, guys? We're giving him. We're gonna buy the thing. I don't want to buy the thing, but we're gonna buy the thing for the sake of this video. I bought the thing. Let's just hope I don't. Oh, come on, please, just give me something that isn't just a pity. Like, give me something positive here, guys. I'm gonna pity out again, guys. I'm gonna pity out again. Yeah, great. My last one that I'm actually gonna pull, I got enough Sorens, but bloody hell, I've got like no. That was infuriating. Like Florabelle, Alsa, none of them did I flop out this hard. Right, we're going to enhance this to 5. We're not going to go to 10. There's no need. I'm going to get to 5 because I think that's kind of the sweet spot. I don't even have enough Tidal Essence at this point. I don't have any charms for Soren, which is probably going to be a slight detractor. We also want to level up his skill here. Oh, guys, that was absolutely agonizing. At least I kind of pulled some things. I've got Leica to Mythic Plus now, actually. That's just not too bad. I'm not upgrading a lot of these guys because I just don't really feel a need to. But that, we've got a pretty healthy looking collection. The only thing I'm kind of lacking on is exclusive weapon upgrades because I just don't really want to spend the resources at the moment. But that was like, okay, I spent 180 invite letters as well as like 20k diamonds, and I've only just managed to get into Supreme Plus. I'm doing this for the sake of the video, guys. I don't even know how good he's going to be. My gut take is he's going to be pretty meh for the most part. If I hadn't done Jura's trials already, I would have been able to use him. But anyway, look, regardless, guys, it's not a problem. We're doing it for the video. Let's go and test him in a variety of scenarios now. The first of which I'd love to test him in is, let's just go to Arena because I don't have charms. So let's go to Arena. Let's maybe try and do like a fun potential Arena challenge here. So this is going to be tough, I think. We're going to go for something kind of interesting. Let's go for this. Let's go this, actually. Ah, do you know what? Thorin is just so good, though. Let's go for something slightly... No, this is not actually going to be the right... That's not a good comp to try into. I'll try and find someone... Zardis, my old guildmate. Okay, so this is probably a good one to try. So we want to keep these guys, but we kind of want to try it with... Yeah, well, the thing is, like, we kind of do need to get rid of Thorin. This is the annoying thing. Like, you can't really play it with Thorin, but maybe we can play it like this and then run Alsa. I don't know how good this is actually going to be, just so you know. But I'm very tempted to just try and see. So, yeah, let's give it a go, guys. Don't know how good it'll be without Thorin. Thorin's probably too strong, but I'd love to see just how it performs in general here. Okay, so everyone's basically dying. Okay, we got the Arden out. Oh, do you know what? That went pretty well. I don't know how much like damage. I think it felt like it was all Alsa there. Did 590k, not a terrible amount of damage. I'm kind of tempted to. Should we go against someone a bit more powerful? All right, this is basically the same thing. So we'll do this. We'll go Alsa. We'll go Soren again. Soren over here, maybe. Then put in Alsa, and then put in Arden. Might not even need Arden, but this gives me this gives me a Wilder plus Mauler lineup, and also, you know, we have two Maulers, which obviously are good versus Wilders. How quickly is he going to generate energy? We're still going pretty well. Honestly, still going quite well. And he's the only issue I'm having with him is he's just not generating energy quickly enough. Oh, that like one shot the Iron. Okay. Maybe our over-reliance on Thorin isn't necessarily warranted. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure like how much Thorin. So these guys are both in my guild, but I will go and attack Dingus because I just want to keep trying this out. Again, very similar versus a normal PvE comp here. Okay, so I'm getting blasted this time round. I kind of need to get... Okay, there we go. Alsa's jumped in. Have we got any knockups? Oh, that's why you run Thorin. Sometimes Thorin can just straight up win you the fight. He's gonna like one shot my Arden here as well. Oh, yeah. No, we're doomed. Okay, that's the first one we lost. We got Thorin. That's sometimes why you just have to run Thorin. He's just his ultimate will just like one shot stuff for you. I don't think I'm going to beat this guy, but I'll give it a go. We're like 30k behind him. Got Scar. He's got like an insanely good Scar Eater, but regardless, we're going to give it a go. I want to keep testing this comp. It has had some good success. This is, you know, the problem that I'm finding with him is he's just not generating his ultimate very quickly. Unlike Alsa, who like does stuff immediately. He just did nothing there. Like he basically did nothing there, which is just. Yeah, and now we just got one shot by the Scar Eater. Like his ultimate generation is just so slow, and he just sat on the front line doing absolutely bugger all in that situation. It's fine that I'm losing, by the way. I don't mind too much, but he just sat on the front line doing absolutely nothing in that scenario. That's not, you know, there's probably a world where I have to maybe just not run Arden, but we kind of lose our bonuses there. This is the issue. Maybe better to run it alongside Hewin. Maybe Hewin's a better healer here, but I'll give it a go. I'm happy to try. Let's bring him in, and then let's bring in Elsa as well. He's just not generating his ultimate quickly enough, which is the major problem. Like right there, he just did nothing. He did absolutely nothing in that scenario. But yeah, not sure Hewin was the right call either. Yeah, look, fun to try it out. I'm not entirely certain it's the gold standard, but there was definitely some comps where it felt like it was working, and obviously versus some situations where it just felt like it wasn't. But I'm only just in this very early testing phase of this at the moment, so it's difficult to say really. Don't think he won't be very good in Dream Realm, so there's no point. I don't think there's any point testing him in Dream Realm. The reason being is he's very crowd control orientated, and you're going to get nothing done in crowd control with Dream Realm. But let's give him a go in AFK stage pushing. So let's go and run the comp that I was just running there, because it felt like it was probably okay. I also could potentially run a full Mauler comp with him. But the only problem is that you like Alsa synergizes so well with Iron that I'm not sure I want to do that. Okay, let's give it a go. He does feel like all of his survival mechanisms are not really helping him. He's supposed to be able to like massively reduce damage that he's taking, but okay, so he's jumped and knocked everything. That was a lot of damage actually. Pretty good in that scenario, but it's clearing a lot slower maybe than my original comp would. Knocks them against the wall. That one didn't actually take any crowd control. Gets knocked. Good for single target stun CC, which is quite nice. I'd love to see how much damage he did in that scenario. Not as much as Arden and Iron. Actually quite an underwhelming amount of damage, if I'm honest with you. Let's try again. He's just dead. He's dead already. He doesn't even get the chance to cast his ultimate. This is the major problem. I guess the problem is he's supposed to synergize with Alsa, but Iron synergizes with Alsa just better. And then the problem is when you play Iron with him, there isn't really scope to run a. I mean, the other option is we could just say, okay, let's run like a very heavy, like this type of comp, and I don't know, run Smokey and Mirky as a healer. But the problem is Smokey and Mirky's not going to get in range. You'd have to just straight up sacrifice any kind of synergy. I suppose we could potentially run Brutus instead, but you're just going to be you can't really fit him into a comp where you can make use of the synergy as well. I just don't see a world where you can run Alsa without running Iron, and now Soren's just already dead. He just doesn't survive long enough, comparatively. Even with the Thorin buff there, just doesn't survive long enough. Yeah. I don't know. Let's try and run him in a Mauler comp, I suppose. Like, I feel like you need to run him with these guys. So let's, maybe we can run him with Odie. Maybe you don't even need to run him with Alsa. Maybe you could run him with something else. I just don't know. It doesn't feel good. He doesn't feel very strong. Maybe there's a world where you kind of run him in an Odie stool comp. Maybe that would make sense. So then we're gonna maybe just put Antandra in here as well. He's just dead. He's dead already. I mean, look, let's for context, let's just go back to a traditional comp and see if it clears this any more easily. Let's just go back to like a traditional. Where's Damien? Just go to something that's a little bit more traditional in this sense. I'm using this because I'm sort of struggling in terms of survivability, but let's change it over to that for the time being. Like, yeah, not even close. Like, didn't even remotely struggle. Didn't even remotely struggle. Like, night and day in terms of potential. Look, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we can maybe we just don't. Maybe we don't run Iron. I don't see that being very viable personally. But let's maybe just not run Iron for the time being, and go down a route like this. Let's, for the sake of fairness, make sure that everyone that we've got here is being put at the right level. So we're going to make him level 300. He's just dead. Like he's not surviving long enough. He's supposed to be a warrior, and he just straight up dies. That's to me that's his biggest issue. It just feels like he's not actually mitigating damage at all. I feel bad for wasting all my money now. This is absolutely a terrible rate up banner. He is really bad. Really, and like honestly, shockingly bad. Yeah. Probably has some use in a Supreme Arena PvP team. Otherwise, not useful in the slightest. Like, probably like, let's for the sake of trying, let's go and run him in Supreme Arena. So I don't know. Let's challenge this guy. Let's go here. Let's run him in. Like, maybe we can run him in this Mauler team, for instance. Let's run him in this Mauler team. Maybe we could run. Like, run Alsa over Coco, maybe, because Coco very rarely actually gets to ult. So let's run Alsa over Coco in this scenario. Let's maybe run him in this Mauler team, see how it goes. Here, consecutive damage. So do this next, and then I quite like this. I'm running an interesting comp here. Yeah. All right. Let's see how we do in this arena team. He's going to get pulled in. Got Brutus tanking for the most part, which is good. He's not dead yet. Nice. He knocked him into the wall. Let's see him actually. Again, what would be really good is if he just was able to ult much quicker into a fight. That's primarily what's holding him back in this scenario. He's just ulting way too late, and he's not surviving long enough to actually generate his ultimate most of the time. Okay, let's see how we do here. Should be, yeah, I mean, absolutely blasted this guy. So this comp's interesting. I should have probably positioned a little better, but let's go Cassidy. Oh no, we didn't kill the Cessia. Oh well, we're gonna get rid of the Coco. Stun the Cessia again. Cessia hasn't actually cast yet, but I haven't actually dealt any damage. That was okay. We're fine now. We're fine. Sweet. We did it, boys. Okay, let's try again though. I feel like that was a little too easy, if I'm honest with you. Skip. I know Skip's very good, so okay. So he's going to target Alsa. Let's get it to target Soren, I suppose. Actually, no, we really should get him to target Brutus. That just means that Soren's going to be the immediate target. Oh, well, whatever. Let's do this. I think this is good. And then... yeah, okay, cool. Right, let's see how he performs here. This is a much harder opponent, in my opinion. Knocked into the wall. Looks like he's about to immediately die. He's dead. Yeah, didn't even cast his ultimate. I'm not convinced in the slightest that he's any good. I don't know a world where, like, how is he supposed to survive? He has this survivability baked into his kit, but he's just not doing anything. Yeah, I'm not convinced it's. I'm not convinced he's good, even in a PvP scenario. If I'm honest with you. What is going on here? I'm getting Am I getting? No, I'm fine. I won. Let's see how we do in the final level. This guy's a really good player, so, or at least has like a very, very highly ranked account. Oh wait, we actually just one shot. Never mind. Is it because light bearers are good against maulers? I think it is, right? Light bearers are good against maulers. Sweet, we actually won. That's good. But I don't think we're winning because of Soren. I think Soren is frankly just kind of meh. Right. That's my best rank that I've ever achieved. There we go. So here is my honest take. Soren is bad, and you should not have wasted. Don't waste your diamonds. Don't waste your rate up invite letters. Don't do a me. Be in a situation where you've just spent a load of money on a unit that is just frankly bad and can't fit into a comp, can't ult quickly enough, dies too quickly. Even at Supreme Plus is very mediocre. There's not a world where I think that Soren can fit into any active strong comps. Maybe we can find something down the line where you're able to kind of provide Soren with enough support to survive long enough. But frankly, he's just not tanky enough. His self-preservation mechanisms are just terrible. Maybe it's because he hasn't got any charms, and I will revisit him once I've got some charms. But even in the normal arena, it was 50-50 as to whether he would actually survive and do anything at all. It definitely feels like he needs to have something that's more geared towards energy generation, because his sister, or Alsa, does way more immediately. And even then, she's not exactly a needed unit. She's only kind of meh. Soren just doesn't do anything, and then ends up being much weaker and much slower than his counterparts. So, I think, frankly, don't waste your money. That's my gut take on this. Don't waste your money. There you go. Enjoy.